Hey everyone, welcome back to English in Real Life podcast.
Hi there. We're so glad you're here with us today. And if you're new to the show, welcome. We're Mike and Sarah, and we love helping you improve your English while talking about real, relatable topics.
Exactly. And speaking of improving your English, if you're enjoying our conversations, don't forget to hit that like button and subscribe. It really helps us keep creating content for you.
Absolutely. Your support means the world to us. Plus, you'll never miss an episode when you subscribe.
All right, so today we're diving into something that affects every single one of us: relationships.
Whether it's with your romantic partner, your best friend, your family, or even that coworker you don't quite understand, relationships shape our lives in so many ways.
They really do. And here's our question for today. If someone asked you for relationship advice in English, could you help them?
That's actually trickier than it sounds, right? I mean, we all have opinions about relationships, but explaining them clearly in another language, that's a whole different challenge.
Exactly. And that's why today's episode is so important. Relationships are something we all experience, whether you're trying to understand why your friend is acting strange, dealing with a disagreement, or just wanting to connect better with your partner.
And the thing is, these conversations happen all the time. You might be traveling, meeting new people, or even watching a movie in English where characters are going through relationship drama. And suddenly you realize, do I actually know how to talk about this stuff?
Totally. Plus, relationship vocabulary is everywhere. Think about it. Songs, movies, TV shows, social media posts, it's one of those topics that crosses all cultures. Everyone can relate to it.
Absolutely. And beyond just understanding the words, it's about expressing feelings, giving advice, and really connecting with people on a deeper level.
Which is what we're here for. So, today we're going to walk you through the essential vocabulary and phrases you need to talk about relationships confidently in English.
We've got listening activities coming up where you'll hear real conversations about relationship situations. But before we jump into that, we need to make sure you're familiar with some key vocabulary that will appear in the dialogues.
So, let's get into it. All right, first up, we have get along with someone. This phrase means to have a good relationship with someone, to be friendly and compatible.
Yeah, it's about how well you connect with someone. Here's an example. I really get along with my new roommate. We have similar interests and never argue.
Nice. Okay, next one, drift apart. This is when two people who were once close gradually become distant over time.
It's pretty common, actually. It doesn't mean there was a big fight or anything dramatic. People just slowly lose connection. For example, after college, Maria and I drifted apart. We just got busy with our own lives.
Exactly. Now, let's look at clear the air. This means to resolve tension or misunderstandings by talking openly about them.
It's all about getting rid of that awkward feeling between people. For example, my brother and I had a long talk to clear the air after our disagreement last month.
Perfect. And finally, we have patch things up, which means to repair a damaged relationship or resolve differences with someone.
Right, like when you fix something that was broken. Here's an example. They had been avoiding each other for weeks, but they finally patched things up over dinner.
Great. So those are your 4 key phrases. Keep them in mind as we listen to this conversation. You'll hear 2 friends talking about a relationship issue.
Here we go.
Hey, thanks for meeting me. I really needed someone to talk to about this whole thing with Jessica.
Of course. What's going on? You two seemed happy the last time I saw you.
I know. It's just, I don't know. Lately, it feels like we're not really connecting anymore. Like we used to spend hours just talking, you know? But now it's like we barely have anything to say to each other.
Hmm. Okay. So when did you start feeling this way?
I'd say maybe the last couple of months. At first, I thought it was just because we were both stressed with our jobs, but now I'm not so sure. It feels like we've drifted apart without either of us noticing.
That's rough. Have you tried talking to her about how you feel?
That's the problem. I don't even know how to start that conversation. Like, what do I say? Hey, I think we're growing distant? It sounds so negative when I say it like that.
Well, yeah, but if that's how you're feeling, then it needs to be addressed, right? You can't just ignore it and hope things get better on their own.
I guess you're right. It's just scary, you know? What if she agrees and we realize there's no way to fix it?
Listen, I understand, but here's the thing. If you don't try to clear the air, you'll never know if it can be fixed. And honestly, from what you're saying, she's probably feeling something similar.
You think so?
Yeah, I mean, it takes two people to drift apart, right? She's probably noticed the distance too. Maybe she's just as confused about how to bring it up.
Relationships are so complicated. Remember when we first started dating? Everything was so natural. We got along perfectly from day one.
That's how it always is in the beginning, though. Everything's new and exciting. But real relationships, the lasting ones, they require effort and communication.
True, true. So, what should I do? Just sit her down and have some serious talk?
It doesn't have to be this huge, dramatic moment. Maybe just start with something simple like, hey, I feel like we haven't been connecting lately. Do you feel that too? And then see where the conversation goes.
That actually sounds manageable. Less intimidating, you know?
Exactly. And look, the fact that you want to work on this instead of just giving up, that says a lot. It means you still care about the relationship.
I do care. I really do. I just don't want us to keep drifting until we're basically strangers.
Then don't let that happen. Communication is literally everything. My grandparents always say that's how they've stayed together for 40 years. They never let problems just sit there without addressing them.
Your grandparents are amazing. How do they do it?
They argue sometimes, for sure, but they always make time to actually discuss their issues. They don't just avoid difficult conversations.
That makes sense. I think Jessica and I have been doing that lately, just avoiding anything that might cause tension.
Yeah, and that's the problem. You think you're keeping peace, but really, you're just letting resentment build up until either it explodes or you drift so far apart there's nothing left to save.
Okay, that's depressing, but you're right. Tonight, I'm going to talk to her tonight. No more avoiding it.
Good. And honestly, it might not even be as difficult as you think. Sometimes just opening that line of communication can make a huge difference.
I hope you're right. Thanks, Jamie. I feel better after talking this through with you.
Anytime. That's what friends are for. Now go home and have that conversation and text me later to let me know how it goes.
Will do. Wish me luck.
You've got this.
All right, so what did you notice about that conversation?
Well, from a language perspective, there were some really useful structures in there. Did you catch how Alex used the present perfect to describe the situation? He said, "We've drifted apart."
Good catch. The present perfect is perfect for talking about situations that started in the past and are still affecting the present moment.
Exactly. And Jamie used some great conditional structures too. When she said, "If you don't try to clear the air, you'll never know." That's a first conditional, talking about a real possibility in the future.
Right. And there were lots of modal verbs throughout. Might, should, can't, which are super important when you're giving advice or discussing possibilities.
Like when Alex said, "What if she agrees?" He's expressing worry and uncertainty.
And did you notice all the phrasal verbs? Start out, bring up, give up, sit down. These are crucial for sounding natural in English.
Absolutely. Those phrasal verbs really make your English sound more fluent and conversational.
Now, let's talk about something important here. The conversation we just heard was about romantic relationships, but honestly, these same issues come up in all kinds of relationships.
Oh, completely. Think about friendships, for instance. How many times have people drifted apart from friends because neither person made the effort to stay connected?
It happens constantly. Or with family. Sometimes we assume our parents or siblings will always be there, so we don't prioritize those relationships. We take them for granted.
And that's such a mistake because whether it's your best friend, your sister, your colleague, or your partner, communication is always the foundation. You have to express what you're feeling.
That's the key word, express. So many people keep their emotions bottled up, especially in cultures where talking about feelings isn't really encouraged. But keeping everything inside, that's unhealthy.
It really is. When you don't voice your concerns or your hurt or even your appreciation, resentment builds up. And before you know it, there's this wall between you and someone you care about.
And the longer you wait, the harder it gets to have that conversation. It's like the silence becomes its own problem. It takes up space in the relationship.
Exactly. And here's the thing, vulnerability is actually a strength, not a weakness. When you tell your friend, "Hey, I've been feeling like we're not as close as we used to be," or when you tell your dad, "I need you to listen to me more," you're being brave.
Absolutely. And most of the time, people respond better than you expect. Think about it. If your friend came to you and said, "I've been feeling like we're not as close as we used to be," would you be angry?
No, I'd probably be relieved that they brought it up, because chances are I've been feeling something similar but didn't know how to say it.
Right. But if nobody ever says anything, both people just suffer quietly and the relationship slowly fades away. And that's true whether we're talking about your best friend, your coworker, or your parent.
And it's not just about problems either. We also need to express positive feelings. When was the last time you told your best friend how much they mean to you, or thanked your mom for always supporting you?
That's such a good point. We get so focused on only having deep talks when something's wrong, but expressing gratitude and appreciation is just as important for keeping relationships healthy and strong.
Totally. Every relationship needs maintenance, and that maintenance is communication. Check in with people. Ask them how they're really doing. Share what's on your mind. Don't let things build up.
Because at the end of the day, our relationships are what make life meaningful, right? Whether it's romantic, friendship, or family, these connections are everything.
They really are. And speaking of maintaining those connections, we've got another listening activity for you. This one's about two friends reconnecting after an argument.
But before we get to that, let's go over some essential vocabulary you'll hear in the conversation.
First one, make amends. This expression means to do something to show you're sorry for hurting someone, to repair a relationship after doing something wrong.
It's that moment when you actively try to fix things. For example, after our fight, I wanted to make amends, so I called her and apologized sincerely.
Great. Next up, we have a falling out. This means to have a serious argument or disagreement that damages a relationship, usually resulting in people not talking anymore.
Yeah, it's more than just a small disagreement. Here's an example. David and I had a falling out over something he said about my career. We didn't speak for almost 6 months.
Ouch, that's tough. All right, number 3, bury the hatchet. This idiom means to make peace with someone, to forgive and forget past conflicts.
It comes from an old Native American tradition of literally burying a weapon to symbolize peace. For example, after years of tension, my uncle and I finally decided to bury the hatchet at the family reunion.
Perfect. And finally, we've got hash things out. This means to discuss something thoroughly and honestly, often to resolve disagreements or confusion.
It's all about having that honest, sometimes difficult conversation. For example, we sat down for hours and hashed things out until we both understood each other's perspective.
Exactly. So keep those 4 phrases in mind as you listen to this next conversation.
Hey, thanks for agreeing to meet. I wasn't sure if you'd even respond to my message.
Yeah, well, it's been, 5 months? I figured it was time we at least tried to talk.
5 months and 3 weeks, actually. Not that I've been counting or anything.
Look, I'm not gonna lie, I was really angry for a long time. Like, really hurt.
I know. And you had every right to be. What I said that day was terrible. I've thought about it so many times and wished I could take it back.
It really stung. In front of everyone, you basically implied that I wasn't a good friend because I couldn't come to your event. That's not something you say to someone you've known for 10 years.
I know. There's no excuse for it. I was stressed about the event not going well, and I took it out on you. That was completely wrong of me.
I appreciate you saying that. Honestly, part of me wanted to just cut you off permanently. You know, just move on and forget about it.
I wouldn't have blamed you if you did. When you stopped answering my calls, I thought that was it. That we were done as friends.
Yeah, I needed space. I couldn't even think about the situation without getting upset all over again. My partner kept telling me I should at least hear you out, but I wasn't ready.
What changed? Why did you agree to meet now?
Honestly, I saw your Instagram post about your dad's surgery, and I realized life's too short to hold on to anger. We had a falling out over one bad moment. One time when you weren't thinking clearly.
It wasn't just one moment, though, Rachel. I need to be honest about that. I'd been kind of dismissive of your schedule for a while. The thing at the event was just when everything came out wrong.
Okay, yeah, I did notice that. I thought you were just busy, so I didn't mention it.
See, that's the problem. We've been friends since college, and we still couldn't just hash things out like adults. I should have told you I was feeling stressed instead of letting it explode.
And I should have asked what was bothering you instead of just ignoring the tension. So I guess we both made mistakes, huh?
Yeah, we did. But, Rachel, I really am sorry. Truly. You're one of the most supportive friends I have, and what I said was completely unfair and hurtful.
I appreciate that. And look, I'm sorry too, for just shutting you out completely. That was pretty harsh. I could have at least told you I needed time to cool off.
No, I understand. I probably would have done the same thing if someone embarrassed me like that.
So, where do we go from here? Do we just forget the last 5 months happened?
I don't think we can forget, but maybe we can learn from it. Like, actually communicate when something's bothering us instead of letting resentment build up.
That sounds reasonable. And maybe, I don't know, give each other more grace when we mess up.
Definitely. God, I've missed this. I've missed you. Do you know how many times I've wanted to call you about something random and then remembered we weren't talking?
Same here. There were so many things I wanted to share with you. And remember when that restaurant we loved shut down? I went there to meet someone else and realized I couldn't tell you about it.
Wait, Lucia's closed? No. When did that happen?
Like 2 months ago. See, this is what happens when we have a falling out. We miss important stuff in each other's lives.
Man, 5 months is a long time. What else have I missed?
Well, I actually changed jobs last month. I'm working at that tech company I always talked about. So, good things happened even during our silence.
Rachel, that's amazing. I knew you'd get that position. Congratulations. Seriously.
Thanks. And what about you? How is your dad doing after the surgery?
He's recovering well, thankfully. But honestly, that whole experience made me realize how important it is to not waste time being angry at people you care about.
I'm glad he's okay. And I'm glad we're talking again.
Me too. So, are we good? Can we bury the hatchet and actually move forward?
Yeah, I think we can. But Daniel, if something's bothering you in the future, just tell me directly, okay? Don't let it build up like before.
I promise. And same goes for you.
Deal. Now, can we please get food? I'm starving and I need to catch you up on everything.
Yes, let's go. I've got so much to tell you, too.
Wow, that was a pretty emotional conversation, wasn't it?
It really was, and linguistically, there were some great examples in there. Did you notice how both Daniel and Rachel used past perfect to talk about things that happened before other past events?
Like when Daniel said, I'd been kind of dismissive of your schedule for a while. The past perfect helps us understand the sequence. He was dismissive first, then the event happened.
Exactly. That's advanced grammar that really helps clarify timelines in storytelling.
And they used reported speech, too. Rachel mentioned, my partner kept telling me I should at least hear you out. That's indirect speech, which is super useful when you're recounting what others have said.
Right. And there were some great conditional sentences as well. Daniel said, I wouldn't have blamed you if you did. That shows hypothetical situations in the past.
Also notice how they both used could have and should have, modal verbs in the past, to express regret or missed opportunities. I could have at least told you I needed time. That's talking about possibilities that didn't happen.
Those modals are crucial for sounding natural when you're reflecting on the past or discussing what might have been different.
Now let's talk about what really stood out to me in that conversation. Pride.
Pride can absolutely destroy relationships.
Oh, completely. Both of them were hurting, but it took 5 months for them to actually sit down and talk because neither wanted to be the first to reach out.
And that happens so often, doesn't it? Whether it's with friends, siblings, parents, we let our ego get in the way of reconciliation. We think, well, they hurt me, so they should apologize first.
But here's the thing. If both people are thinking that way, nobody reaches out, and the relationship just ends over something that could have been resolved with one honest conversation.
Exactly. And what I loved about Daniel and Rachel's conversation is that they both took accountability. They didn't just blame each other. They acknowledged their own mistakes.
That's maturity right there. Admitting when you're wrong, apologizing sincerely, and being willing to listen. Those are the skills that keep relationships alive.
And it's not just about friendships or romantic relationships. Think about family conflicts that go on for years because nobody wants to be the one to break the silence. Holidays get uncomfortable, people miss weddings, graduations, all because of pride.
So if you're listening to this and you're thinking of someone you've fallen out with, maybe take this as a sign. Reach out. It doesn't have to be dramatic. Just a simple, hey, can we talk? Might be all it takes.
Because life's too short to hold grudges, and the people we care about are too valuable to lose over misunderstandings or hurt feelings that can be repaired with communication.
Well said. All right, everyone, that brings us to the end of today's episode about relationships. We hope you learned some useful vocabulary and phrases that'll help you navigate these conversations in English.
Remember, whether you're giving advice, working through conflict, or just expressing how you feel, communication is key in every relationship.
Now, before we finish, we need your help. English in Real Life is a small channel working hard to bring you quality, free content.
If you enjoyed this episode, please give it a like and subscribe to our channel. It really helps us keep creating content for you, and it means the world to us.
And don't forget to leave a comment. We'd love to hear from you. Have you ever reconnected with someone after a falling out?
What's the best relationship advice you've ever received? Let us know down below.
We read all of your comments, and honestly, they inspire so many of our episodes. So thank you for being part of this community.
Until next time, focus on improving your English, nurture your relationships, and remember, it's okay to be vulnerable.
Take care, everyone.
Bye, everyone.